Hi YouTube, my name is Heather and I love anti-MLM content here on YouTube. Today I'm really excited for us to watch the introduction to a Team Beachbody Power Hour. Now we're not going to watch the whole Power Hour video because a lot of that just involves these coaches sitting there in silence on their phone. But if you're not aware of what a Power Hour is in Beachbody, it's when an upline coach and their team will sit on Zoom and they'll participate in different activities to expand their network. So this could be adding new friends, doing follow-up, joining Instagram or Facebook groups that interest you, and of course, sending invites. I'm really excited to watch this video, and please let me know what you think about this Beachbody Power Hour introduction down below.
All right, let's get started. Thank you so much for joining me for your afternoon power hour. My name is Christine Dwyer, and I'm going to share some things with you to get you in the right mindset, but also to get you organized and know kind of the structure of how should you be scheduling your time every time you sit down to do coaching. So obviously, if you're trying to grow your coaching business, sometimes it can be frustrating or very difficult because of information overload, but also because you're just trying to figure out what to do when you really don't know exactly how to do it. And you wonder, am I doing the right thing when I sit down to do my coaching business? So what I want to share with you.
So as you can see on the left, there's the Success Club System Daily Business Activity Tracker. We've had lots of videos going over what that is, but I think this list is on the back of the tracker. So name, when contacted, notes, followed up, and that's just to keep track of who you talk to. Please note that she said to get us in the right mindset to do our power hour. In Beachbody and all MLMs, we know mindset's very, very important. All MLMs strongly encourage their distributors to participate in personal development work. So that could be listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, reading books, etc. And that's a way, in my opinion, to flip the blame back on the distributor when they're not finding financial success. So if someone goes to their Beachbody upline, hey, I'm not making any money, then they might go back and say, you're not doing enough personal development. You need to read this book. You need to purchase this podcast. And it also leads to more expenses for these coaches because every personal development book they have to purchase. And in my opinion, it could just put these poor coaches more in the red than they already are. What do you think about that?
Are some graphs as well as timeline checks so that you can understand, all right, this is where I should partition my time. This is the kind of activity that I should do first. And then when I do it, this is what I do. So the first about 5 to 10 minutes, that's what we're going to cover. I also want to share with you what it can result in. So a little bit more about myself as well as my team. All right. So
she says, and what it can result in. So she is going to show her crazy accolades and information about her crazy ass downline. And she's going to say, if you follow the instructions that I'm giving you, you can have a downline as big as mine. And we know that's not true. And I think she's going to talk more about organizing our list now. So I'll just let her talk first.
So first things first, as we're looking at our agenda today, you have to have a list, and you have heard this probably a billion times. You probably let it go over your head. You don't think it's really that important, but take it from me. When people ask me, what's the biggest mistake that you made in the beginning of your coaching years that you would wish that you corrected? What I wish I corrected was that I had a list and that I worked from a list. I didn't. I worked from memory, and I worked from relying on people coming back to me. And I assumed if they want to do it, they'll just come to me. No, it doesn't work that way, especially today when there is so many other options and opportunities and distractions in life and struggles that we're going with. It's just not going to happen. So you have to take that strong step to make sure you track a list as well as follow up with people. Now, with your list, how does it work?
I did during the business activity tracker videos. One of the top coaches said that he started without a list too, and that person started in like 2011 and is underneath Lindsay Matway. So chances are like he actually used a list if he was under the top coach at the time. And in that case, a commenter said something along the lines of like he did use a list. He's just making it seem like it's okay just to dive in without knowing what you're actually doing. And that was a really good point that commenter made. In this case, this woman, I talked to her. I talked about her in a past video. She's pretty much one of the top coaches. She started the year after Beachbody started its multi-level marketing structure. And chances are she probably actually did not start with a list because there were so few coaches at the time. And there was no actual understanding of good business practices at that time. So I trust that she actually didn't have a list. Again, organizing your list. We've heard from Fraser Books on this channel that if your list isn't growing, your business has a limit. And we don't want to have a limited business. So we always need to add to our list. We also heard about lists from Eric Worre, who says we have to be adding to our, I don't remember what he called it, but our massive master contact tracker list of everyone we know. Could be the nice lady at the grocery store, could be the person who helped us pick out our shoes at the mall, could be our kids' babysitter, everyone we know, even if they're not contacts. And then you work on developing relationships with everyone in your master list, and you eventually get their Facebook or their email, and then you can see if they're actually a prospect or not. So having a list is very important in network marketing, because the vast majority of people on that list are going to say no, because they know network marketing is a scam, unfortunately. Network marketing and multi-level marketing, they're the same thing. Those are just two different words.
Well, I suggest, and I'm going to give you a graphic that shares with you when I have a new coach start, what is recommended that they do to be able to grow their business. All right. So we're going to go into that when we get to the inviting stage. But what's most important is when you first get started, the first thing I ever learned from a top coach, I don't have a coach, first of all. So those of you who don't know my story, I don't need to go into it, but basically I don't have a coach. And when I joined as a coach, I knew nothing about network marketing. I had figured out for myself. I made top coach my first month as a Beachbody coach. Back then we had monthly top coaches. We didn't do yearly.
Yeah, you had to figure it out for yourself because you were literally in at the very beginning and no one knew what they were doing. And I wish I knew exactly how many coaches there were in Beachbody in 2008 when she joined. Probably not many. And it probably wasn't very hard for you to get to top coach every single month. And like, it doesn't matter that you didn't have a coach, because as I said, you were in at the beginning. No one knew what they were doing. You were able to have the vast majority of the company in your downline, like we'll see in a second.
And when I went on my first trip, that's where I met coaches like Robert Hudgens, Pete Pena. And that's where they told me, you got to have a list. You have to write down a huge list of names of everybody you can think of. And then you go off of that list inviting people. So if you've never used a memory jogger, use a memory jogger and just brainstorm out a master list.
So everyone in your life is now seen as a dollar sign and as a potential member of your downline. If you've been in Beachbody or any MLM, did you experience that kind of mindset too? Anytime you met someone nice at the grocery store at your spin class, did you think of them, oh, they would be a good coach, they would be great in my downline? I'd love to hear your experiences.
Do that right now, because right now you and I have work to do. You can do that after. So something I want to share with you. So this is just a quick little, what's happened then? What has happened with my team and my life and people around me?
These are all her accolades. So we're going to let her go through her accolades and then I'll talk more about it.
This has happened. And I've been a coach now for 12 years. And some of my accomplishments are all there on the right side, but the ones that are most important are the ones on the left side. And that is, I have 11 personally sponsored coaches who are in the multi-million-dollar legacy club, meaning they make multi-millions every year as a coach. Now, first I have to say, income disclaimer, there's no guarantee or level of success or income as a Beachbody coach. It's up to completely how much you're going to put work and effort forward.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. I just looked at the Beachbody policies and procedures section before this video. If you're in the multi-million club, it does not mean you make multi-million dollars every single year. It means over the course of your Beachbody career, over all of your business centers, you have made over $1 million. She paused there. She paused saying multi-million every year. In my opinion, I think it's because she realized she was lying, but she was too far into the statement to fix it. Just because you make multi-millions over your career in Beachbody does not make you a millionaire. Myself, I will make $1 million over my whole career in my field, but that does not make me a millionaire. And she knows that, and she knows how misleading that statement was. And just because you put in an abbreviated version of the income disclaimer, does not mean that you're being honest. And I think she's trying to mislead and deceive people, in my opinion. What do you think?
I also have 3 additional personally sponsored coaches that are in the Million Club, Legacy Club. So they earn $1 million a year. I have multiple people that are earning 6 figures a year. On my team alone, so my team, Platinum Presenters, is over 250,000 large, I think.
250,000. According to Beachbody, there are approximately 400 to 450,000 coaches. So this one person has almost half of the whole ass company in her downline. Now, they're not all her direct sponsors, so she's not making Team Cycle bonus off all of them. But she's not making matching bonus off all of them, but they're all in her left or her right leg. And so she's cycling the maximum amount, which is crazy. And she's also going to get lots of matching bonuses, which I'll talk about in a second.
I know it's over 210. I want to say the 5 is sticking out for some reason though. That's how big my downline is. Does that sound crazy to you? Because it should, because it sounds insane to me. I would have never expected that.
Why not? You were one of the first coaches in the door. So of course, everyone's going to be below you.
Me signing up as a coach on a piece of paper, because that's how we did it back then. We didn't have digital forms, and faxing it in. That's how I started. And then I just asked someone, hey, will you do this with me? Hey, will you do this with me? Hey, will you do this with me? But first, I was a no. I said no to being a coach, and not until 1 year later is when I decided, okay, it makes sense. And that was only because someone else told me about it differently. So think about that. I was a no. Someone told me about it, and I said, no way. And not until somebody else told me about it, as well as I just signed up. I'm just one person. And then I asked someone, and then I asked someone, and then I asked someone, and boom, 12 years later, over 200,000 people, large, more. That's my team. That's my downline. That's my coaching business. How does that happen? It happens by the activity that we do right here in this hour with me. So,
Miss, it doesn't happen doing these useless activities. It happens when you're at the top, literally at the top of the company. Now, I've said before, top coaches. When I say top coaches, I mean those who are in the top ranks, like 10-star, 8-star and above, right? When I say top coaches for her, I literally mean at the top of the pyramid, like at the tippy top. And there's no reference to, oh, when I started, no one knew about Beachbody. No one knew about how sketchy the system is. No one knew that they could find cheaper products elsewhere. And so recruiting was extremely easy. No one else was in Beachbody at the time around me, so I could just ask all my friends and they would automatically join me. She's also not talking about the fact that before she started Beachbody, she had a massive network because she was a fitness professional working for Shailene Johnson's fitness certification company. So she knew certified instructors and people in all these different gyms, and she utilized that massive network to recruit into Beachbody. So she should be talking about her advantages. To be honest, I had a huge network. I was already a fitness professional. I was already well trusted in the industry. I was in first, literally first. So no one knew what Beachbody was. No one knew what multi-level marketing is. And it was very, very easy for me to recruit. But of course, you're not going to say that. You're going to say, if you follow what I say, you can have a downline of 200,000 people too, when it's literally impossible. There's not enough people in the world.
So over 70 people on my team that I know of have achieved $1 million on my team alone. That's not counting all of Team Beachbody. Crazy, right?
Yes, it's crazy. There should be more. So let's assume she has half the company in her downline. Say the other half of the company, just to be even, there's 70 other coaches who've achieved the $1 million club. 140 coaches in total out of 400,000 approximately. Remember, this isn't even millionaire. This is you've achieved $1 million in commissions over the course of your Beachbody career. So that's not good. That's a really, really shitty statistic, in my opinion. Now, I don't remember how much longer she's going to talk about this section, so I'm going to go into more detail. She has 6 personally sponsored Superstar Diamonds, and then she has 1 personally sponsored Superstar Diamond 3. She is most likely making the maximum matching bonus off of those 7 coaches of $1,200 a week of those 7 coaches, just because they're cycling. Does anyone know how this woman would be compensated for the other business centers who are also Superstar Diamond for her 1 personally sponsored Superstar Diamond 3 coach? Would this woman get a match or a team cycle bonus off of the additional business centers, or does she just get the bonus off of the first business center? I'd love to know. Please note on the right too, it says she is the first Superstar Diamond, the first Superstar Diamond 2. That shows how early she got in. If she was literally the first one to ever reach the top rank. What are you talking about? Why aren't you talking about your extreme advantages getting into your pyramid scheme first? Those who get into pyramid schemes first make more money. They get paid through the efforts and the financial burden of those below them. So everyone joining her downline, their money is just funneling up, 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 and it's making her extremely rich at the top. What do you think about that?
I'm putting this in front of you because I need you to be in that mindset that you're going to be hungry to do what we're about to do for the next hour. It's so critical and important for you to do this activity to get to anything like this. All right.
I hate that. No, you're not going to have 7 personally sponsored Superstar Diamonds in your downline. You're not going to have 200,000 people. You can't get to the top position in a pyramid scheme. Yes, you can technically make more money than the person above you, but you can't. I'm here, say Jessica recruited me. I make more money than Jessica, but that doesn't mean I'm now above Jessica. Jessica's still making money off of me. She's still cycling off of me. Does that make sense?
And just the other stats is I have 6 personally sponsored coaches of mine that are Superstar Diamond, so they're 15-star Diamond, and one of my coaches is Superstar Diamond 3, and that's actually Janelle Summers is Superstar Diamond 3. So it's possible. Here's what's most important. You ready? Okay. So have you ever sat down to do your coaching work, and then you're like, okay, what do I do first? You're like, I don't know what to do first. You know what you normally do first? I'll tell you. You go on social media and you start thinking about, all right, what's my post? What post can I put up? What post am I going to put up where I'm going to seem like loving life, ha, 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 and making money and having a fun team? What post can I put up to do that?
Why are you being condescending? That's literally what coaches like you and other uplines tell people to do. They tell people to showcase how amazing the community is, how amazing they feel with their freaking Beachbody programs, about the team support. That's what you tell them to do. And now I don't think you're making fun of people. I know you're just like making a point, but I feel like you're being condescending, in my opinion.
That's what we think, because that is actually the lowest hanging fruit of activity. You don't do your social media posts as the first thing to do. If you've only got short pockets of time, so I built my business on short pockets of time, in nap times, in lunch moments, in short moments. So if you've got 15 minutes at a time, what do you start with? Here's what you do. First thing that you should do are these things in the red. The first thing when you sit down to do your coaching business, follow up with people that you've shared the business opportunity with. That's got to be your critical thing. Follow up is the
Notice it's not share about how amazing the products are. It's focused on the business, because the products are secondary. And in my opinion, products are just a way to hide the pyramid scheme structure.
most important thing you do. Then the second thing you would do is then invite new people then to the presentation. So first thing is follow up with people about coaching. Then the second thing you do is follow or invite more people to check out coaching. Third thing you do, follow up with people about product or your challenge groups. Fourth thing, invite more people. So is that making sense? I hope so.
So you follow up about the coaching, invite people about coaching, follow up about products, invite people to try products. So it's good at least that the products are in there at all, but it is interesting that the business opportunity is first. So she wants us to do the 4 in red first. And then if we have time, we do the tasks in blue.
Hope so, because this is what's most important. And then the other stuff is gravy. That's why it's in blue. Like, hooray, you did the hardest part of your coaching business. Then the fifth thing you could do is celebrate, reward yourself, create content. All right, because that's most important. Your post going.
It's most important. She said create content because that's most important. But then why is it number 5 if creating content is most important? I don't understand.
Up is not going to be the critical step on if your business moves forward tomorrow. What you do with me right now in this hour is what's going to move your business tomorrow.
Isn't it interesting that personal and professional development is literally number 6, but they harp on that so much, and all the top coaches talk about how personal development and Beachbody just changed their lives, made them a better spouse, friend, mom, parent, coworker, sister, and it seemed to be the most important thing. And it kind of is, because it's the way that people are brainwashed and brainwash themselves into staying in a system that is set up for them to fail, and just they continually put more money into the system when they're losing money every single month. It's just a way to brainwash them. And it's interesting that that's at the very bottom. And number 7, team and coach development. Number 8, challenge group and customer support. Interesting. So challenge group and customer support, those in your challenge groups are not actually coaches, right? There are people who purchased a challenge pack and just enjoy doing Beachbody programs. Customers are those who just purchased Shakeology as a customer and like the products. Interesting how supporting your customers is at the very bottom of the list. So chances are, if you really only have 10 to 15 short bursts of action to do your power hour in, you're probably not going to get to customer support.
What you put up for posts take months. Okay. All right. This is all the other stuff that you would focus on. You could take a quick screenshot of this because we're going to get into what we're going to talk about.
Sorry. So coach time management, I just want to read the different sections so we know when she's talking: personal activity, and then team building. So personal activity, recruiting, product invitation, content marketing, personal education and development, consistency and behavior and messaging, challenge group management, promotion, Success Club 10. So of course you need to hit Success Club. And then team building. This is so hard for me to read. Sorry. Coach basics, new coach training programs, business presentation, team page group management, personal coach mentorship, team cause, emerald to diamond training. So that's what the 2 categories are.
But most of the time, again, I'm a Superstar Diamond 2 coach. So I've achieved 15-star diamond in 2 of my business centers. How much time do I spend on my team, like coaching them, mentoring them personally, doing team calls, hurrah, hurrah. How much time do I do on that? Less than 50%. This says 50%. This is a graph from Beachbody. So normally, if you're right here in coach status or diamond status or anywhere in between, the problem is that many people are doing this. They're spending half on their time on their team and half on their business.
A lot of MLM distributors say things like this, and I get really confused because your team is your business. And say you're a diamond coach and you want to get to 1-star diamond, you're not going to get to 1-star diamond unless someone hits, or they say pops, unless someone pops diamond in your downline. And I don't see a difference. Recruiting and mentoring those you recruited is the same thing, and it's part of the same process. And if you don't focus on your recruits and you don't help them recruit, we know on this channel that you're not going to get any money in Beachbody, because you could have a bunch of people who are just at coach rank, and that will help you cycle, sure, because you could have lots of coaches on your left and lots of coaches on your right. But if none of those coaches have coaches, then you're not going to get any matching bonus off of that, and so you need to build your team. You need to mentor your team in order to get to 2, 5, 15-star diamond. So I don't really understand this.
No, when you're in your growing phases of your business, you have to spend the majority of your time on your personal growth business, not other people. That will be secondary. That's just how you're going to be able to grow.
So that's all. And she's going to start talking about the actual power hour. And I really don't want to watch that. I just wanted I wanted her to talk about her accolades in the business and wanted us to listen to her narrative around if you do what I'm going to tell you, if you follow my useless power hour, you could also have 200,000 people in your downline and have 7 personally sponsored 15-star diamonds. She is lucky to have that many 15-star diamonds in her downline because those people have massive downlines themselves. And if they have 15 diamonds, their diamonds also have big downlines and so on and so on and so on. Just crazy that one person has 200,000 people in their downline. And it's also crazy that she is not admitting or accepting the fact that she is so high up because she got in first. She was the first ever person to hit 15-star diamond in Beachbody. You think something would click in her head. I was the first person to reach the top of the pyramid. I'm very privileged because I got in early. But of course, you can't say that to her recruits because then it's going to click in their head too and say, oh, well, I didn't get in 2008 like she did, so I'm not going to find financial success. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed it. And please let me know what you think down below. Bye.